So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. This is the webinar to explain our Upgrade Tunisia UK funded program run by OCO Global. My name's Kush, as you may know. I'm a senior project manager at OCO and also head of digital innovation. And I run the tech elements of our project in Tunisia, which we've been doing for the last 1 to 2 years. A little bit of housekeeping that we will be recording the webinar throughout, and also we do encourage you to ask questions, and there's a Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen. So please do ask any questions throughout the webinar, and we'll address them at the end. We're very lucky to have a number of speakers join us today. We have my global trade director, Colin McCullough, tell you about OCO and about the work that we've been doing in Tunisia. We've also got representatives from Sfax Technopole and the Sousse Novation City, including Feta Krishen, Adam Bouchala, Hisham Turkey, and the technical specialist Nas with Hisham from Novation City. And we're also lucky to have the CEO of Nova Robotics, Dr. Anis Sabani, speaking a little bit later on about Nova's ventures into Industry 4.0 in Tunisia and outside. So I'd like to explain very, very briefly about the project. The project is quite an ambitious project in terms of the timescale that we're hoping to do. It's over the next few months until April. And what we'd like to do is select around about 5 to 10 traditional sector companies. So that might be in the food sector, that might be in retail, might be other manufacturing processes, and work with them in order to eventually integrate Tunisian technology in order to make the company more efficient or increase capacity or greener, whatever it may be, using technology that's derived and developed in Tunisia. And that's where we'll work with our partners from the Technopoles, but also from other clusters throughout Tunisia in order to match the best technology to those traditional companies. And at the end, I'll tell you as well of how to apply for this particular program. The program, I should mention, is funded by the UK government. So every introduction or integration of technology will be funded. So this is a great opportunity to dip your toe into the waters of innovation and integrate without that risk, that capital risk that comes into it. So I would encourage you to apply at and we'll tell you the steps at the end of this call. And the application process will run until the end of this month, so the end of January. I'd like to now move over to Colin, who will give some context around what we're doing in Tunisia and OCO in general. Thanks.
Thank you, Kush. Good evening, everybody. My name is Colin McCullough. I'm the Global Trade Director for OCO Global. I'm based in London. A brief introduction to OCO. So we are a consulting firm that specializes in international trade and investment. So we've been doing that for 20 years. We're Belfast headquartered, but we have sort of about 10 offices globally. And really our job is working directly with SMEs and also with economic development organizations, helping them with their international ambitions. Okay. We've been working with Tunisia for 2 years now, and it's a program that's funded by the British government through what's called the North Africa Technical Assistance Facility. So it's sort of led by the British Embassy and implemented by Tetra Tech International Development. And we run the sort of component that is supporting SMEs with their export development. We're focused on 3 sectors, so ICT, food, and textiles. And our aim is, the aim of this is to increase the economic reflex between Tunisia and the UK. And really what that ultimately means is we are trying to help Tunisian companies to become more effective in their exporting, to export more to the UK, and to create further prosperity and employment in Tunisia. So we're doing this in a number of ways. So we are trying, Tunisia isn't that greatly known in the UK for its, products and its people. So we're raising awareness. We have built a Buy Tunisia LinkedIn page that we promote actively every week. We have created sourcing websites for the great products that you have, from food to textiles to ICT solutions. And we also work very closely through what we call a market acceleration program, helping companies both in a group and individual basis to really to understand the UK market, to target it, and to get you in front of the right buyers fully prepared. So we've been successful, I think, with a number of companies across all the sectors. So we have achieved sales and we have made progress with partnerships. But in doing that, we also have noticed a number of issues or barriers to success, okay? And that ranges from access to finance, to certification, reliance on human labor, particularly with the pandemic, competitiveness, and really that translates to price as well. And then, of course, the marketing and branding aspect. So there are key issues for me that impact Tunisia's ability to sell internationally. And the one thing I hear and I see myself is Tunisia does have great products and great people, but it sometimes doesn't put that forward in the best way, and there are certain limitations around that, and that's what we're trying to address. And with the pandemic in particular, international sales has got tougher, right? So you have to be better and you have to be different, okay? And so what we're seeing now is a bigger drive towards sustainability, to safety, okay, and the flexibility. So when you're looking to target an international audience, particularly the UK, guess what? It's got harder, right? Because the clients can't visit you. Their budgets are reduced, and the environment is that little bit tougher. So we're here to try to help you, and this initiative is exactly what our answer to that is. By making you more competitive, we can hopefully make you more sustainable and help you sell more internationally. Okay, so the aim of this program is to create what I would call a virtuous circle, okay, where we connect the traditional businesses, in whether it's in food, textiles, with this sort of buoyant, emerging tech ecosystem that exists in Tunisia. And it's really matching that wonderful tech talent with those great traditional companies that have good product. And so what we want, really, our ambition here is not that you just have a good product, but you become a great business. And by becoming a great business, that means you're sustainable, you're profitable, you're competitive, you're compliant, you're innovative, and you're resilient. And that's really what Industry 4.0 is about for us. And that's why we've brought our partners together to sort of help us to drive this program locally and also obviously internationally. So with our partners, we look to both facilitate, manage, and fund this program, where we connect the traditional business with the tech ecosystem. So we've received really great feedback so far. We have over 100 people joining us tonight on the webinar. So we see this as a really great start. I appreciate everyone's commitment to this, And our ambition is that this is not just a project for the short term, but very much actually for the future of Tunisia and our engagement and with Tunisia. So thank you for joining us on the journey, and I look forward to hearing from the rest of the speakers. And for all those joining, we are very committed to the work we're doing in Tunisia and to supporting the sort of economic growth. So we look forward to engaging with you in any way going forward. So Kush, back to you. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Colin. Okay, so now we'll go forward to our first speaker, and that's representatives from the Sfax Technopole, and that's Feta, who is the director of the Sfax Technopole, and then the specialist, Adem. Please, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kush, and thank you, Colin, for this presentation and for the invitation for this event. Please let me introduce myself for the people who joined us. So my name is Fatah Krishan. In fact, I'm wearing kind of two hats today. I'm the Vice President of the Tunisian British Chamber of Commerce, and we've been working a lot with OCU in order to enhance and develop the Tunisian British economic relation, I will say, through different programs. They were also assisting us in several programs to enhance this relationship. But I'm also the general manager of the Sfax Technopark, which is a science and technology park that is dedicated for the ICT sector. So our mission mainly is to develop the ICT sector in Tunisia through R&D, but also through supporting higher education in the Technopark. So we have 3 faculties in the Technopark, but also our mission is to attract a local and international investment in the ICT sector and to assist companies and build bridge between tech companies, and I would say traditional industries. Through our assistance, we have an incubator, we provide incubation programs, we provide acceleration programs, we provide many facilities for startups, but also for SMEs, especially in the digital. But we also provide some kind of assistance for the traditional sector through ICT solution developed in the R&D centers or through some new centers, I will say, that we are putting in place. And one of these centers is the E4.0 center. So this is an initiative from the Tunisian Ministry of Industry. So we've developed 2 centers, one in Sfax and one in Sousse. Hisham will speak later about the Sousse Technopark, Innovation City, and their centers. And the main idea is to connect industries to tech provider, local and international tech provider, but also to develop a local industry of ICT in the Industry 4.0. So we provide assistance for many companies in Tunisia, nearly in all sectors. We work a lot with companies from textile, agri-food, and this is an opportunity to present our services and I would say the cooperation that can start with the center and OCU. So I will let Adam talk a little bit more about this because he is our technical expert from the Industry 4.0 Center. Adam, could you please?
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Fatah, for this. Thanks, Kush, Mariam, and Colin for the invitation. So I want to share my screen. Let me try if you can see it. Can you see something or still not?
Not yet.
Not yet. And now?
Yes, it's starting up now.
Yeah, perfect.
One second though, it hasn't quite There we go. Yes.
Yeah. So let me introduce myself. So I am a sensing expert in the Industry 4.0 Center, and I'm a teaching assistant professor at Imperial College London in the EEE department. So as Fatah said, so the center was created thanks to the collaboration between the SFAX Technopol and the German Agency for International Development Cooperation, GIZ. Under the supervision of the Ministry of Industry. So our objectives are basically training people, sensitizing SMEs, supporting SMEs, creating innovative solutions, and creating also startups. So our process is composed by 5 steps. So we start the kickoff meeting. We check the maturity, the digital maturity of the company, which is the readiness check. Then we go to diagnosis. We investigate the pains and the potentials of the companies. Then we implement a proof of concept in this SME in collaboration with tech provider. The 4th step is training the manager and the operators in terms of accepting the solution and giving them instructions and manuals, and finally giving them how to scale up, which is the roadmap. In average, we have to do 34 actions. It takes 26 days of internal experts of our center, and 28 days of the experts, like tech providers, mainly external experts. Some POC implementation so far. So we have 5. So in plastics facts, we implemented a fully automated scale connected to the ERP. In Masmoudi Agri-Food, we implemented real-time production data transfer. EMP is a metallic construction company. We made a connected fabrication machine. Medlight, lighting tech, automated fabrication machine, and finally Aramis in the textile field, real-time production tracking and efficiency tracking. Our plan is to, so we've done the planned 5 companies. Now we are moving to the 15. Hopefully we start this in February. The selection criteria will be the size of the company, the willing to invest, the sectors. That should be different than we have done in the previous 5 companies. Outside SFAX, then the executive rate is very important. And finally, are they interested in export to Europe, Africa, or even wherever in the world? This is our team. It's a multidisciplinary team. We have like experts in sensing, AI, robotics, 3D printing, and IT. Please feel free to contact us if you need assistance in your company. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam, for that presentation. And one thing I should note, that a part of our collaboration with SFAX, we have flexibility there in terms of the parameters that, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Adam,
Yep.
like in terms of the size of the company, etc. I mean, we have flexibility there.
Absolutely.
So if you're a company with, say, and you're on this call and you've got 50, 60 staff members, yes, then we can still help you. So don't be put off from applying at all. Adem and the others from SFAX and from SUS will definitely be on hand to do the diagnostic sort of analysis and help with the integration alongside us. So yeah, it shouldn't put anybody off from applying. Yes, is that fair enough? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. And for a couple of questions from myself then. In terms of the speed, you mentioned the sort of the 28 days and things like this. Is that in terms of the 28 days integration for the POC, for the POC? Is that more sort of off-the-shelf technologies that you're integrating, or are they sort of technologies that are pivoting to fulfill a need within the company? I mean, what in terms of the success that you highlighted, what sorts of technologies and what stage of development were they?
You're asking about the technology. Is it an off-the-shelf solution that will be implemented directly, or we are making this solution, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm saying, like, in terms of the examples that you gave, were they off the shelf or were they developed within the Sfax Technopole?
They are developed within the Sfax Technopole and with tech providers outside the Sfax Technopole. So, and also in terms of the duration, like it's from the kick-off until the roadmap. But of course, this could be minimized and optimized in order just to implement things quickly. And the average of the whole intervention will be a month, usually, for to implement a solution with a roadmap.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in terms of sort of further example of what the if you take one of those examples that you gave, just for a company to understand the whole process sort of step by step, can you sort of give them an idea of what it may look like step by step, sort of run through that? Say it's a company that's looking for, if we take an example out of that, say it's a company that's looking for diagnostics to do with their machinery, always sort of getting particular faults. Yeah. If I'm a company that I have sort of aging machinery that lets me down sort of every 6 to 9 months, and that reduces my production by say 20%, what would it mean in order to get that diagnostic sort of analysis and then get the sensor and get that data across in order to improve that efficiency to for that company?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kush, for this question. So I will give you an example that I'm actually studying. So it's about a textile company. So we planned a kick-off meeting. So we went through a readiness check. It was an online version. It's a light version. We defined basically all the equipment, the size of the company, and like what is the IT infrastructure that they have, etc. Then we planned a readiness check, which is an extended version where we study or we investigate basically their willingness to invest in Industry 4.0. Have they already a strategy on Industry 4.0? Then we make a visit, like a direct visit, which is basically in a diagnosis phase. So it's a Gamba walk. We call it the Gamba walk. So we go through the factory and we try to detect what are the pains and potentials in this factory. Once we have like a matrix, or it's like a graph that determines the highly potential implementations, and how can they affect their production or their maintenance, etc. Once we select one POC, because we fund this proof of concept, so we try to find an adequate tech provider that he is willing to solve this problem. We discuss with the tech provider, we define the specs for the solution. Then we go back to the company, we discuss with them, are you willing to implement this solution? Are you happy with it, etc. Because there are many social, like the social side is very important when you implement the tech, because some people, like operators who are working on that, they will think that you are controlling them and not making their life easier. So once we decide that it is okay for the solution, the tech provider will go and develop this solution. And finally, we train them, not finally, but we train them on that solution and how to introduce that solution to the people in the factory. And finally, we do a roadmap. So as an example, for example, we are now working on a textile company to so they have one girl who is supervising or inspecting the quality of printing on the t-shirts visually. So one of the solutions that we are like discussing is computer vision or image processing one. So it detects and compare with the original or target print, let's say, and we are developing this with a tech provider. So this kind of implementation usually takes like 1 month from the kickoff to the implementation and roadmap, as I said.
Right. Thank you for that. And yeah, to stress, this program is as Adem said, about a partnership between us, our partners in Sfax and SUS, of course, but also with the traditional companies. So really, it's about where you get the most added value in terms of integrating technology and then helping you throughout the process, from the trial process, the proof of concept process, but then also into the integration process. And as was mentioned, we're looking to financially support that integration. And at the sort of the end goal for us is to help companies trade better globally, increase their exports, increases their chances of diversifying their international customer base. In order to do that, we want to implement technologies in order to facilitate that growth. So on that note, thank you very much to Sfax Technopole, to Feta and Adam. And perhaps now we can go to Hichem and Anas from Novation City.
Thank you, Kush. Thank you, Collins, for the invitation. And my name is Hichem Turki. I'm the CEO of the Pole of Competitiveness of SUS and Novation City, especially. This Novation City is an ecosystem who's trying to create a strong relationship between higher education, research, and company. Novation City manage three different areas. The Technopark specialized in mechatronic, with the engineer school, with the research center in nanotechnology and microelectronic, and with the center of technological resources for prototyping especially, and an incubator, a big incubator, and an area to implement research and development centers for big companies or for companies specialized in mechatronic everywhere. Actually, we develop, as said, Fatah Center of Competitiveness Center of Industry 4.0, and an incubator for specialized, which is the first one in Tunisia, specialized incubator in Industry 4.0. Both of these programs are developed with one of the GIZ and the other with the Expertise France. And we are, especially our main target is to accompany the transformation of the industry in Tunisia, the artisanal or the industry now for the industry 4.0, but especially with Tunisian technology, if we can. And that's why we developed this incubator, to have more innovation in technology specialized in industry 4.0. Actually, we begin this program. We have 1 year actually we work on this program, and we actually work with about 20 companies. I'm going to let Anas speaking about these two programs. Anas is the director of this center, and he's developing the incubator too. So Anas, please, if you can present our centers.
Thank you, Hichem. So I have to thank also Kush, Colin, Miriam for organizing this digital event and letting us have this open discussion with both industrials, Tunisian industrials, and also making this program updating the Tunisian industry with the help of OCO. Make this happening. So I will share a presentation. The presentation is in French, but I will present in English. Okay.
Yep.
Is it okay? So you,
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
great.
this is, yeah.
So Novation Industry 4.0 Center is a center developed by Novation City in a large scale of the initiative, the Tunisian initiative toward Industry 4.0. This initiative is done by the Ministry of Industry with the help of the JZ. And there is, of course, like Fatah introduced already, 2 centers under this initiative. So the Innovation Industry 4.0 Center and the Industry 4.0 Center of Spice. So I'm not making a lot of time in this part, the national initiative, but the main objectives of both centers is to sensitize the industrials about the Industry 4.0, make also the orientation, the qualification, and helping them implementing solutions. Our centers offer services like diagnosis, audits, technical assistance, training, of course, knowledge transfer, implementation of solution. We have 3 main components: the knowledge hub, which is basically the academy and the advisory hub; the accelerator, which supports the startups from incubation to the international market, but also support them to get clients from the industrials, the Tunisian industrial. Then the third component is the demonstrators and innovation lab, in which we can develop also internally technologies with the help of our startups and our tech provider. Some of our tech providers, some of our partners are also international tech providers. So we developed expertise in 4 main areas: supply chain, production efficiency with data analysis, MES, and clean production. Basically, this expertise was developed because we detected those needs in Tunisia from our experience with the industrials. We also developed a toolbox that we use for diagnosing the companies and developing solution for them. And finally, we have a network of startups that develop technologies from robotics to cybersecurity, and especially with the focus in artificial intelligence and IoT for industry. Our ecosystem is composed of at least 13 academic institutions. So there is, of course, engineering school, like the engineering school of Sousse, of Monastir, Esprit in Tunis. There is ISET of Mehdiya, ISET of Sousse, ISET of Rades. And we also have a network of startups and tech providers which we support to develop the technology, but also to develop the business and get them opportunities. We of course work with industrials. We have also strategic foreign partner like Fraunhofer Institute from Germany, like Ernst Jung from Berlin, with the Wave Space of Berlin especially. We have partner in Spain, in Italy, in UK like OCO, and also we work with some association like ATIA, the Association of Artificial Intelligence in Tunisia, the IEEE the Tunisia section, but also especially the South section. Of course, we have also founding institutions like African Vest, CDC, and Expertise France, GIZ, etc. So our experiences in implementing solution in industrial with the help of startups started with some open innovation project that we managed, and we make them happening. So those are real products implemented in Tunisian industry. So the first project was developed between ST and Ardia, which is an universal industrial remote. Then with the Innova Robotics, we developed an AGV, so ground robot, which is autonomous and for the supply chain of the company. And then with the startup Incept, also we developed a mixed reality headset and a solution with the tablets also to control the quality of the electronics for the PCB also, and all the manufacturing process. And we implemented this solution in Visteon, which is a company that make electronics, for example, for cars, Mercedes, etc. Okay, so we support the company with some subvention from the GIZ or from the USA, the BIRD. We can help them also preparing their projects with the mise à niveau, with the PNRI, the l'ANME for the energy management system, for example. And our process starts with the company profile. Then we make a diagnosis with the maturity checklist. Then a deeper technical diagnosis with tools that we developed with QV and with Festo. Festo is a famous German company. These tools help us developing the priorities and calculating, for example, the return on investment for those solutions that we may implement. So we get with the priority matrix recommendation. Then we develop a roadmap. We can also mainly develop POC for the company. We can then go to designing specified solution, make the specification, and help the companies looking for solution from tech providers. We assist them in the implementation. So we do project management, then testing, evaluating the solution. Also, we help them qualifying the operators. Of course, there is also a training program, which is for management, for developing internally skills for their engineers to set up the digital transformation and the Industry 4.0. So I'm not going on the details. I think I already consume a lot of time, but especially we have 3 services for implementation. So as we said, we can do monitoring office, PMO, MOA. We develop also with the Open Innovation Garage the solution with the startups, or we can co-create and co-design a solution with the industrials and tech providers internally. So there is the 3 options of implementation services. About training, so we have set up the Academy 4.0. So this academy offer training for the industrials, but also for students or researcher about Industry 4.0, the technology, also artificial intelligence, robotic, etc. We also have the Management 4.0 module, which is about lean manufacturing, lean management, operational excellence, etc. The Digital and Innovation 4.0 is modules for digital transformation, innovation management, design thinking, etc. I have also to talk a little bit about the program of our incubator and accelerator, which we call it StartT4. Start like startup, but also like start. So you have to start and have the courage to go through this journey of ideation, incubation, acceleration. So the aim of the program is to help startups getting the technology, acquiring the technology, getting business opportunity. So we have to incubate 15 startups, accelerate at least 5. We have also to help them founding and fundraising from Tunisian market or Tunisian investment market or foreign market. So if you are startups or you know startup that want to go through this journey of developing technology in the Industry 4.0, you have to orient them to StartT4. So we offer under this program 15,000 dinar, okay, not pound, but dinar. Of technology voucher. There is business voucher, there is a training, and we can host them to 18 months. And also there is a Go International voucher for with 10,000 dinar. So globally they can have 50,000 dinar of support and money-free equity. So it's very interesting. Okay, finally, so we are today working with some industrials to help them implementing solution in the textile sector, the agri-food, the automotive sector. So some of our clients, and we are doing that with especially a network of startups. Some of those startups are, of course, incubated or accelerated by Innovation City. But we have also a larger network inside our mechatronic cluster, and there is startups developing technology from robotics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, a lot of fields. So thank you, and we look forward to hear about the industrials and go forward with OCO in this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nas. That was great, very informative. I would say for the purposes of our Upgrade Tunisia UK funded program, we're looking to complement things that are going on in SUS and SFAX and elsewhere in terms of Industry 4.0. We're really focusing on those traditional companies, traditional manufacturing companies within food, textiles, or other industries that are looking to integrate technology in the very near future. So, I mean, we're looking for a speedy process, not a sort of 1 to 2 year development or even sort of 6 to 12 months development. We're looking for a little bit more streamlined than that. And hopefully in that way, our program complements the good work that's going on in SUS and SFAX and the long-term work that's going out in order to increase the startups involved in that sector. So if you are a traditional company in Tunisia working in sort of traditional industries, looking for a technology in order to take you to that next level, I do encourage you to ask questions on the chat panel that's at the bottom of your screen, your Q&A tab, or ask questions via email afterwards, please do so. And now I think it's a good segue, good introduction from to introduce you to a SUS founded company, Nova Robotics, and Anis, the CEO, to speak about what Nova Robotics is doing within this space. Thank you, Anis. You're on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's okay now. Thank you, Kush, Colin, and Mariam for this kind of invitation. It's a nice transition just after Anas because he speaks a lot about what he do. So Innova Robotics is based at Novation City, and we work a lot with E4.0 Center of Novation City. So let me please at the beginning introduce Innova Robotics and basically what is the purpose of Innova Robotics when it's founded. And after the shift that we made to go to Industry 4.0, because really there is a high request here in Tunisia and a big need from textile, for instance, industry in this point. So Innova is found at Novation City in 2014 with the purpose to develop basically security robot. Now we are more than 35 people between SUS at Novation City and Paris. Our expertise is in autonomous mobile robot. This is what we know and what we develop knowledge in it. We are more known using the P-Guard robot, the security robot. So I will show you a video, but I will. So basically, this is a mobile robot for patrolling in an industrial plant. So this is, we put on the market the first one in 2015. And this is the first use is patrolling, reporting, detecting intrusion, thanks to AI and other kind of algorithms. We can see it like a Tesla car, completely autonomous, but we can go out of the road. We haven't to stay always on the road. So, and after that, we find the new use of the robot. Here you can see it at Airbus plant cleaning the runway. So this is how we can imagine the same solution in different way. And 2 days ago, this is patrolling at Tuileries Garden, Paris, at Louvre Museum. So this is a video 2 days ago there, the robot patrolling. So this is the use of technology that at the beginning, it's destined to go to the plants. At the end, we find it in public area, which is completely different of the use of the beginning. So we're also known by the VSN system. Both of these robots are used in Tunisia and by the Tunisia government to reinforce the lockdown during the first lockdown in March. But also this is used to fight against COVID. And basically what the idea is the kind of teleportation or kind of telepresence, so we can be in one place and in another one. So from here now we can connect it to the robot from distance. It's like a Zoom, but it's mobile. We can see it like that. And we add some medical sensor. It's used to let the family of patient suffering from COVID, which is at hospital, to visit to have a visit of his family without any risk of contamination on the or of transmission of the virus. So basically, this is our knowledge and where we develop Innova 4. But since 2016, there is a huge need that we find here in Tunisia and from industrial plant. I use for this presentation I choose two use cases. One using AGV. I will show you this first use case, and I think that Anas spoke about this point. And the second one, what we have developed during 2020, which is used in textile industry. So basically the idea, Now we are shifting to 4.0. And the idea is how we can fuse, in fact, physical and digital worlds together using robotics, AI, Internet of Things, 3D printing, and whatever. So what we developed, the automated guided vehicle, so it's kind of autonomous vehicle that take raw material from the warehouse and take it to the machinery. It could be guided using, this is the version that we developed in 2016 that you can see, Anas. This is, and now we have other versions that are completely autonomous. So the idea is to increase the productivity, to not have a stock inside the plant where there are work and machinery, and he can animate automatically, in fact, the machine with the raw material. So basically, this is they increase the productivity, reduce costs, and you can change it, and we have a kind of modularity and many other advantages of using such kind of solution. The second use case that I choose for this presentation is the use of robotic arm in textile. So this is how we have imagined the change of a textile plant where we will put inside some robots. So you can see the AGV robot that I showed in the first use case that can take jeans or some other textile product. And the idea now is to combine these using arms, and mainly when the work is really dangerous, because we use toxic substitution, which is dangerous for human. The spray that we put is a spray of permangana, and I will show you. I will let this video. So this is how we imagine it. And when we have visits, this is the real work at the textile, in fact. And what do people with jeans? In fact, we have some effect that we have put it on these jeans, and this it's a toxic substitution. And the idea now, the cobot or the robot work together with the human, and the idea is really to automatize that. So we can speak about many advantages, but I will give you just one number in these plants. We put the robot in March 2020. At July, it means that in 6 months, he what we call non-prime product, or what we call product seconds of standard of quality. In March was 13% of the production of the plant, and in July this decreased until 5%. So this is really what we can do it in just 6 months, and now we are deploying 3 other robots by the beginning of this year. So we can find the generic, but I think that I give you a number that can speak a lot about what we can have and what we can enhance inside such kind of plants. So thank you for your attention, and please.
Thank you very much, Anis. That was great, and I think I mean, we do a lot of work with jeans manufacturers in Tunisia, as you know. So I'm sure some of them on this call would be very interested in the work that you're doing in terms of Industry 4.0. So on that note, perhaps I can then, in order to address the final part of this, and perhaps some questions for Anis and others as well. Perhaps there's some Q&As. So I'd like to put it over to Mariam to get some questions across to the panelists, perhaps. Mariam?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Try to hide.
Thank you.
You know, I think I will encourage them now to ask more questions, because mainly we have specifically for you, Kush. You know, you said probably for the speakers, but they have question for you. So they want to know specific conditions that traditional company has to fulfill in order to qualify to the program.
Okay. I mean, there's no particulars, but I mean we're looking at Tunisian companies that are based in Tunisia. There's no particular sort of a scale of company that it has to be. So we heard from the colleagues in SFAX that they have particular sort of the size of the company that it needs to be in order to engage with their programs, which are long term. But our program doesn't have that stipulation. So if you're with 10 people and we see a real use case in terms of adding value to your company and perhaps increasing your capacity to export, get more customers internationally, then we'll definitely consider you. And then you know we're looking at from small SMEs to larger SMEs. So there's no particular size of company that you need to be. However, I would say that as a company, you have to be export focused. So have to be sort of striving for greater exports and perhaps have a few markets that you're already exporting to. So because we're an export focused program and company ourselves, and the UK government sort of programs are particularly export focused, doesn't have to be to the UK, but it should be companies that have that ambition and have export markets already in place and would like more customers across the world. So that would be the sort of criteria, Mary.
Thanks.
And the other question that I saw, Marion, just to sort of pop in. Yeah, just to pop in, there's one question that was, do you help early stage startups? I mean, again, we help traditional companies, so either in textiles, in food, in other manufacturing process, in order to get to the next level to integrate technology in them. So in terms of the startup period, so the startups, so we're trying to match, of course, the startups with these traditional companies. So if you're a startup, for example, in Sousse or in Monastir or wherever you are, we will look at you in terms of a potential partner to these traditional companies if you fulfill their solution requirements. So if you're a tech startup, then yeah, please do, and working within Industry 4.0, not within Sousse and SFAX. So please do get in touch with us, and we will consider you when we sort of when we're running through this program.
Yeah, thanks. There's another question regarding, is there any similar program in Tunis regarding incubators and Industry 4.0 incubator in Tunis, or just in SFAX or Sousse? I think probably Fatah or Hisham can answer that question. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will start. Hisham, you can go also. Honestly, today we have two centers that are based in SFAX and Sousse. There is another center that will be developed in Tunis through the same centers. But today, I mean, the companies that we are serving can be based in Bizerte, in Tunis, in SFAX. So we try to be as mobile as possible and try to serve whole Tunisia.
I think just to reinforce that from a OCO perspective, you know, we are serving, you know, the whole of Tunisia as we can, and so, you know, a number of the companies we work with are from Tunis. So, you know, it really is about opening the sort of Industry 4.0 up to them. It's just that our partners and with the experience are in SFAX and Sousse with the Innovation City. Okay.
Yes.
Please consider Mahdiya. Adnan Hamza said, why not Mahdiya? So.
I can answer to this. Starting for the program that supports startups, which we develop, is have partnership with that Mahdiya. So we can have a startup getting supported from Innovation City, but incubated in Mahdiya. And we have also other sites in Esprit, for example, in Tunis, or in Monastir, etc. So we are already present in all those areas.
Okay, another one, and I think also still for Kush, but if you want to answer that question, as startup and tech provider, can we introduce some of our clients' socio programs?
So it's from a startup tech provider, is it? Or
as a startup and tech provider?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yes. Again, I would say that once we have looked through the applications from the traditional sector companies and chosen maybe the 5 to 10 companies that we'd like to work with from now to April. I mean, we would like to work long term from April as well, but for the purposes of this program, it's from now to April. That's the period where we're working at the moment. So once we do work with those 5 to 10 companies, then we will do a little bit of a call to the market and encourage startups to engage with us if they have particular solutions that meets the requirements that we're looking for. If they can't be met in SUS and SFAX, it's an open applications for these startups to engage with us. So we'll use whatever company from wherever in Tunisia, as long as it's the best fit for that traditional company, we'll use it. So there's no preferential treatment.
So the answer is yes. Is that right?
The answer is yes. Yes, the answer is yes. I mean, I might be. So it's absolutely open, and the answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay, I think that one is for both, I think, Hisham and Feta. There are some students who have brilliant ideas. Is there any possibility to adopt their project?
So that's for Hisham and Feta, right?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, Mariam?
There are some students who have brilliant ideas. So is there any possibility to adopt their project? I think if they are part of Industry 4.0, but.
Of course, it's possible, but they have to participate in our programs and to try to participate to our challenge. I think every 3 months we have a challenge in Industry 4.0, and they can participate to this challenge. And if they win, they will be very. We will be very happy to have them with us, and I think Anas is going to develop them and to follow them from the idea until the acceleration, and to develop especially the exportation if they have the capability to do it. Fatah, you have something?
Yeah, I think you've said everything. I mean, there is a lot of program through these 2 centers. So I want to highlight that we work on whole Tunisia. We are 7 companies in Tataouine, in Bizerte, and others. And secondly, yes, for sure, there's a lot of programs. We just speak in this meeting about the support that we provide to the industries, but there is a lot of other programs through these 2 centers, going from incubation, hackathons, education, etc. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with us, and we will provide you the whole necessary information.
Yeah, so thank you. So please, already I think Anas and Fatah, they already shared the links. Please go there and then apply, or keep an eye on the website, and then it's open as they said. So Kush, what do you like? What is the next?
Yes. Yeah, thanks, Mariam. Yeah, so the next steps for the Upgrade Tunisia UK funded program is that if you are a traditional company out there and you've always wanted to integrate some technology into your business, there's a particular pain point in your business, perhaps it's to do with lack of workers, maybe it's sort of as Anis from Innova Robotics, who is a company that we've worked with for a long time now, a little bit of a star of our group, cited that there's particular sort of dangerous elements to your manufacturing process that you'd like to automate, then please do get in touch. If you're looking to increase capacity or increase the amount of data that you get from your processes, or to make it more, make your processes greener, please do get in touch with us. So we're, with our partners in SUS and SFAX, we're willing to do the diagnostics, to do the POC with you, to find the technology, and to finally integrate that technology into your business. And it will be funded by the UK government if you're selected for this program. So it really is a great opportunity to integrate a new piece of technology in order to increase your chances of doing more business throughout the world. So as a sort of as a side note to that, we will be sending out an email after this webinar, just with the next steps, and then we'll send out a form in the next day or two in order for you to complete and be in the selection process. As I say, we'll select between 5 and 10, around 10 businesses that we can work with, just because of the time scale at this point. If you haven't been selected for this process, we have a long-term vision. At the moment, our program's until April. However, we do have a long-term vision in order to support more companies throughout the year and the years to come, depending on the UK government's generosity, of course, of funding such programs. Yeah, thank you very much to all the panelists, all the speakers, all the participants. And Mariam has one other thing to add that I've omitted. So sorry, Mariam.
Deadline.
Oh, the deadline. Yes, of course. Yeah. So the deadline is at the end of this month. So if we give you till the 31st of January in order to submit the form, and then we'll evaluate it very speedily, because what we want to do is really get to that integration of technology quite soon for you, and because of the way this program is being developed, we're trying to use off-the-shelf technologies that will increase the efficiency of your business, and help you to do that, and partner with you in order to integrate it successfully. So if you can apply by the 31st of January, then we'll evaluate it in the first week of February, and then we'll start that process swiftly after that first week. So thank you again to all the panelists, all the attendees. Sorry we've gone over by 10 minutes, but it was a very interesting discussion. And if anyone has anything else to say from the panelists, please do so now, or we can take questions via email afterwards.
Just to finish off, I think, Kush, look, thank you everybody who's participated on the webinar. Thank you to the panelists, and just a reminder, really, so there's a number of companies on the call that know us well. So we look forward to hearing from you, and those that don't know us as well, you're very welcome. We look forward to hearing from you and hopefully get your application for this program. And there may be companies out there that need a bit more help with their export development as well. So if you are and you're looking at the UK market, particularly in textiles and in food, I would be delighted to hear from you as well. Okay. So that, I think it's sufficient to say thanks again. Have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to starting the journey with you over the coming week or two. Thank you.